Josh Billings said a dog is the only thing on earth that loves you more than he loves himself. ADW founder Jill Felice set out to build a very special training program, one that would provide trained service dogs to help people with disabilities and achieve their goals of independence. Assistance Dogs of the West was founded in 1995 with a few simple principles and a profound understanding of the challenges faced by people with disabilities. These principles of respect, leadership, and service came together with a great love for the spirit and ability of dogs to create something truly magical. ADW dogs come with many faces. Labs and Goldens most often demonstrate the right characteristics for the training of an assistance dog. Now and then a client comes to ADW with their own dog. If the dog has the right temperament and interest in learning to become an assistance dog, they get to join the ADW team.
I got Schubert when he was a year old. The following spring, I got in touch with Assistance Dogs of the West to see if I could train with him to be my assistance dog, and Jill very graciously agreed to take us on, and we even had the privilege of working with her in private lessons as well as all the classroom instruction with the other instructors.
ADW dogs show us the importance of unconditional love. Over and over again, they show us that a life of loving is a life well spent. They show us the value of being accepted as we are.
Achoo! Achoo! Yes!
ADW designed an educational course where students learn service dog training. ADW student dog trainers also gain understanding of our clients' special needs.
He's kind of new, so the best thing he can do is he's really good at downs.
As a 12-year-old student trains a dog to pick up an object off the floor and place it on a client's lap, the student also learns how disease or accident might leave someone depending on a wheelchair and a dog. The students give some of their time and all of their hearts.
The first dog I trained from a puppy was Hatch, and it was hard to give him away because you get close to them and you know their personality and you know their perks, and you give them off to a trainer, and it's not a trainer, you give them off to a person, and it's a great thing and you love it. Inside, you know, it's both a great thing that you're doing and also really hard at the same time.
ADW works with schools and agencies throughout Santa Fe and Albuquerque. Puppies begin their 18 to 24-month training being taught by people with developmental disabilities. Dogs learn early on to respond to different voices and different mannerisms. These trainers advance occupational therapy goals, develop vocational skills through training the dogs in the basic 20 commands, and participate in community service, and most of all, experience loving relationships.
When I was working in pediatric private practice, I noticed that some of the older kids, the kids who were about to transition out of high school, really took to the dogs. Not to say that all kids didn't, but there was something different. There were 16 to 18-year-old individuals with developmental disabilities who were learning how to work Jesse. It was more about them tuning into what he could do. And one little gal ended up going home and training her own puppy how to do many of the skills that Jesse could do.
The commands ADW dogs are taught allow them to help the client navigate through public spaces, manage daily life activities like picking up dropped items, getting dressed, answering phones, shopping, or attending school.
If he never did anything else, the most amazing thing he did for me was I walk around at home, I use a walker, and one day I tripped and fell, and he was right there for me, and I told him to go get my cell phone out of my wheelchair. So he went to my wheelchair, got the cell phone, brought it over to me, and I was able to call some of my neighbors, and they came over and helped me get up off of the floor. So that was why I'd gotten him, and it was so incredible to see that in action.
One time I asked Wilson to pick something, clothes up off the floor, and it was so funny. My husband and Wilson went for it at the same time. It just became, we all laughed. I think Wilson chuckled too. Wilson has changed my life so much. I really tell people when I go somewhere and I don't have Wilson with me, I feel like I left an arm or a leg, or I left a major part of me at home, and I look for it. And Wilson is, he's always, he's just with me all the time. Even when he just keeps his eye on me.
After 9 months of basic training, dogs then move on to ADW middle and high school student dog trainers to learn the 70 more advanced commands. ADW dogs work with young people, ages 8 to 18, each student training a specific dog. The relationships become comfortable and close as ADW dogs learn to respond to the softer voices and leadership styles of these young trainers. When dogs have completed the advanced training under professional ADW instructors and are ready for placement, they interview with a number of different clients. It's vitally important that individual clients' needs and personalities are matched with the unique skills and temperament of their dog to be. Often a client will go through 3 or 4 interviews with different dogs before finding the relationship that clicks. Once this ideal match has been made, there is another period of incredibly hard work. ADW instructors work with client dog teams for intensive weeks of training. Clients learn how to live with their dogs and use their dogs that have been trained to support their specific needs. Clients and dogs learn how to trust one another. Ultimately, it's the bond formed between client and dog that makes it all worthwhile.
Are you proud of all the work you've done? Yeah? You feel pretty confident with your dog out there? Yeah? Tomorrow's the big day you get to take him home.
Each and every participant in the student training program has contributed to the success of ADW. We celebrate all of their involvement. Dogs never fail in the ADW program because each dog, while learning, teaches the students. Regardless of whether an ADW dog graduates as an assistance dog, is placed with a client, becomes a social therapy dog, or as sometimes happens, is released from the program to become a lucky family pet. Dogs and students alike learn the basic principles so important to ADW: trust, respect, leadership, and service.
You have just seen the many faces of assistance dogs in the West. This magical portrait continues to grow. Our new faces could include more student trainers, people with developmental disabilities, or U.S. veterans, many who suffer from PTSD, all who want to join our team. Please help Assistance Dogs of the West grow. Come join our team.
If you want to be my friend, you want us to get along, please do not expect me to wrap it up and keep it there. The observation I'm doing